Ja'Marr Chase got a lot of recognition for, well, unfortunately, the wrong reasons during his second preseason game for the Cincinnati Bengals. And well, let's just say unfortunately, he didn't really do much to calm those things down in practice. Now, before we get to the content, just real quick, I wanted to let you guys know we're giving away a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. We're going to announce the giveaway winner in about 3 weeks. All you have to do to enter is make sure you're subscribed and have that bell ticked. In addition to that, I'm giving away multiple codes on my Instagram and on my Twitter account for Madden 22. All you have to do is be a follower. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? So if you guys followed my community tab, I happened to post this one meme on my community tab that some Cincinnati Bengals fans may not have enjoyed. Here, it's right in front of you. You see how Ja'Marr Chase slowly fades away into becoming John Ross? And this isn't to say that Ja'Marr Chase is a bust after just 2 preseason games. I think we're smarter than that, but there might be a bigger picture here, and we have to look at what's going on here, because what he has been showing us in preseason so far is consistent with reports that we've been hearing from weeks ago. And if you guys watched my fantasy football advice video, which if you didn't, I'm gonna leave a link in the end screen. Go ahead and like that bad boy up if you guys want to see more fantasy football advice videos. I kind of advised all of my subscribers to take T. Higgins over Ja'Marr Chase because they have the same ADP. But there's this one sketchy thing about Ja'Marr Chase, which is, look, going into the NFL draft, I don't want to be one of those people, but I literally said over and over again, as cute of a story as it would be for the Cincinnati Bengals to reunite Joe Burrow with his number one target in LSU, Ja'Marr Chase, there are some things that I believe should take precedence over this, especially considering the fact that T. Higgins and Joe Burrow were a remarkable duo last year. Tyler Boyd was a stud even before Joe Burrow came into town. I mean, the man had 2 1,000+ yard receiving seasons right before Joe Burrow's rookie year, and I think we could all agree universally that the number one issue that the Cincinnati Bengals had was the offensive line. I mean, Joe Burrow didn't even make it a full season. He wasn't even able to complete his rookie season because he tore his ACL, and I'm not saying that was a direct result of a bad offensive line because he was able to get the pass off, but it kind of reinforces even more that you need to do whatever it takes to protect your quarterback. Like my man Manuel Astoria said in my community tab post that features the meme that I posted, the Bengals really said, yeah, we are getting gas for the Lambo and not the insurance. Honestly, a lot of you guys are just brilliant in these comment sections. Bodymore Dummy said that the Bengals had a lot of good wide receivers last year, so why take one this year when your defense and offensive line was your problem? This is what separates the top front offices from the bottom ones. And to be honest, I do have to agree, when you are the Cincinnati Bengals, again, it's a very cute story to reunite Joe Burrow with Ja'Marr Chase, and for all you know, Ja'Marr Chase could be a superstar wide receiver, but I stand by what I said. I really don't think that was the right pick for them, especially considering that wide receivers tend to be luxury picks. They already drafted T. Higgins last year. I think T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd would have done enough for them. Penei Sewell would have done a lot more for Joe Burrow's career and prolonging his career, and probably would have made him feel significantly more confident and comfortable in the pocket than Ja'Marr Chase ever will. But things got even worse after what we heard in regards to Ja'Marr Chase after he got drafted and during training camp. Our source for this, at least our very first source for this, is Paul Derner Jr., he is a writer with The Athletic, and he wrote this article on August 9, 2021, documenting the risers and the fallers for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he wrote a lot about Ja'Marr Chase, saying that this is not to sound the alarm or to relitigate Penei Sewell all over again, not in the least. We're merely reporting what we've seen thus far. It's about tempering initial expectations. A thought existed that Ja'Marr Chase could walk onto the Paul Brown Stadium practice fields and dominate from the first snap. His skill set is that unique, and you see flashes of that early, but you also see somebody tentatively getting used to a new offense, a new league, and not playing football since January of 2020, which is, if you're counting, that's almost 2 full years since he's last played football. Now, here's where it gets scary, and this is when I immediately sounded the alarm in my head saying there's no way I'm drafting this guy in fantasy. He has not shown as much separation as you'd hope, which is very important considering the fact that, no offense Cincinnati, but you're not necessarily known for having lockdown cornerbacks on your team. Like, we're talking about a team that is going to boast Trey Waynes, Chidobe Awuzie, and freaking Eli freaking Apple on their team. If Ja'Marr Chase can't create separation against Eli freaking Apple, we have a huge problem. Now, here's the scary thing. Paul did a little bit of foreshadowing here, saying he has not shown as much separation as you'd hope, and the contested footballs haven't gone his way much either. This is absolutely not to say that he won't start picking that up with more reps over the next month, and he's working after practice every day and by all accounts taking it seriously, and his skills and history are too impressive to think that he won't find a groove once he starts playing off instincts instead of constantly having to think about what he's doing every play. Most of this is all part of being a rookie wide receiver and improving as you go, but after 10 practices, Chase is clearly still fighting the rookie learning curve. So then time goes on and Ja'Marr Chase has his infamous game where he drops 3 passes from Brandon Allen, and again, this could just be from not being on the same page with Brandon Allen. Yes, we're making fun of him and we're memeing him and we're comparing him to John Ross, although they're 2 separate wide receivers, but I'm not the type of guy that is going to judge a player based off of his preseason accolades. Sure, if I see flashes of brilliance, typically that does carry on. You remember that 70-yard pass Patrick Mahomes had in preseason during his first full year starting with Kansas City? Well, in this instance, although I don't think Ja'Marr Chase is officially going to be a stone-handed bust, I think you could expect this type of behavior to potentially carry on into the regular season. So as a result, this clearly is a storyline for the Cincinnati Bengals. After all, this is the number 5 pick in their draft this year, and they definitely took a huge risk selecting him over a once-in-a-generation type left tackle, despite them having multiple wide receivers on the roster. What's scary is the Cincinnati Bengals had a practice once again today, and it seemed as though Ja'Marr Chase was a bit of a theme here. Joe Burrow once again targeted Ja'Marr Chase on this drive, but instead, of course, Von Bell gets his second interception during this period because Ja'Marr Chase wasn't able to come down with the reception. Jay Morrison said that first target in 11s for Chase, and it is a stone cold drop. Now, the good news is Ja'Marr Chase is very angry about this situation, and he's not brushing it off. After he dropped yet another pass, this time in 11 on 11s, he did go to the side and got some extra reps with quarterbacks so he could try to mitigate this problem. And obviously, as this continues on, Bengals wide receivers coach Troy Walters is now making warm-up catches for Ja'Marr Chase contested and saying that he's going to be on him every single catch, as you can see in this clip here. Now, do I think Ja'Marr Chase is going to be a glorified bust? No. Do I think he was the wrong pick instead of Penei Sewell? Yeah, I'm going to continue to say that because for the most part, I don't think a star wide receiver drafted in the top 10 is necessary to win Super Bowls. That's just my personal philosophy. If you're in the top 10, ideally you come away with a quarterback, an edge rusher, or a new member of your offensive line, hopefully a left tackle, even a linebacker or a defensive back. But for all you know, know Jamar Chase could be the next coming of Jerry Rice, just knocking off some rust. We'll just have to wait and see. If you're a Bengals fan, what do you think of this so far? Do you approve of the selection of Jamar Chase, or did you want the Cincinnati Bengals to take somebody else? Are you concerned with the drops so far in practice and, of course, during the preseason? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.